What episode is this? 52, 54. I can't even. Nope.
No.
We're not even drinking it. Welcome to Speak Freely. I'm your host, Mr. David B. What? No joke? That's right. No jokes today. Because you want to know why? It's a very serious occasion here with my good friend. Is it okay if I use your real name?
Whatever you want.
With my good friend, Mr. Brian K. Guys. It's our 1 year anniversary.
Yay!
We did it. Now we're canceling the show. I'm just kidding.
Round of applause.
Oh, you gotta do the golf clap. Respectable 1 whole year. Respectable. I am your host, Mr. David B. Or Mr. Freely, as I like to jokingly say, along with my good friend, one of my oldest friends, Mr. Brian, or as I like to call him, Mr. Speak. Dude.
Yeah. 50. This is episode 50.
I mean, but it's been a year for us.
It's been a little bit more than a year, really.
I mean, all right, if we're pulling behind the curtain a little bit, yeah, we've missed a couple of weeks here and there.
Yeah.
Cause life, and like, let's be honest, like, the podcast isn't the main priority, obviously, but it is a priority. We try to do it weekly when life permits. But the fact that we've been, even if it's been slightly inconsistent, the fact that we've been doing it for a year, I feel really accomplished having done this with you, legitimately.
Yeah, I gotta be honest.
Here we go, man. It's gonna get emotional.
Episode 50.
We haven't even started drinking yet. That's coming later.
Surprise
Spoiler.
for you.
Spoiler. This is more of a treat for us, but we'll see what happens.
When we first started this, right? Clearly, middle of the pandemic, there was a lot going on, especially with you being a musician. So there's a lot of things got shut down.
Oh God, yeah.
We started this. I saw it as sort of this thing to keep you busy, right?
Yeah.
And had me be a part of it, which I loved that you included me in this. I mean, we had this idea brewing, right? But
yeah, we've talked about it a couple of years prior to the pandemic.
But the fact that the way that it came about, I was like, okay, well, it'll keep David busy until things open up, and then he gets back to his life, and then we'll see what happens after that. And then clearly the pandemic just never stopped.
It's still ravaging the nation.
And neither have we. Yeah, no. But it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's something I look forward to a lot.
Same, dude.
Yeah, we've been really good friends for a very long time.
Yeah, let's not age ourselves.
Yeah, for a very long time, we're really good friends. I feel like throughout this process, we've really become the best of friends. Really.
I 100% agree. So, like, I remember, like, we were really good friends. We met each other in high school. They're aged us. If you know how old we are. It's been a minute. And I remember I moved away, obviously. Yeah. I moved to Texas. We lost touch a little bit somewhere in between there.
A little bit here. Yeah,
right?
The first 2-3 years.
Like a few years we lost touch. It was like the first couple of years I was living in Texas, we kind of stayed in touch. And there was like a 3 or 5 year period somewhere in there where it's like we weren't like not talking, but it was on like this consistent level. Right. And then like, I would say probably, because I lived in Texas for 15 years, so I would say like probably like 6, 7, 8 years ago.
If that didn't age us.
Yeah. I mean, high school, then I lived in Texas right after high school. Now you know how old we are. Do the math though.
Yeah.
And then like 6, 7, 8 years ago, we kind of like got back in touch again. Mm-hmm. And then it got to the point where it's like, when I consistently came back out here, I was like, I got to make sure I visit Brian. You know what I mean? Like those first 8 years, like we did that. Then it just kind of like, just naturally, because we were just on our own paths at that moment. Mm-hmm. We just didn't make the effort. Both of us, I feel like, equally.
Yeah, I would say so.
And then, I don't know what reconnected us, but it was just like, oh shit, like we actually are very good friends. We should keep in touch. And we did. And then, like, I want to say like 4 years ago, we were driving off of I think it was 205, right? Or 60. We were driving somewhere in the freeway. I think we were coming back from your workplace. And it was like, we should do a podcast together. And then we just started spitballing. I was like, what would we call it? Let's call it Speak Freely so we could talk about whatever we want. And lo and behold.
Here we are.
It was kind of like, for me, it was like something to keep me busy, but it was also kind of like an excuse to be like, have something to do with you on a consistent basis.
Yeah, that's what I tell people when they're like, oh, like you have a podcast? Like, yeah, but it's more of an excuse just to hang out with my
It's more
friend.
of an excuse for you and me to hang out and do goofy shit. Talk about what we usually talk about in the car rides. Yeah. Like, legitimately, the way we talk on this podcast has been really like how we talk on the car rides when we've hung out, or
Yeah.
like on our baseball trip when you visited me and stuff like that.
Right.
Which is it's been really fun, man. Legitimately, and yeah, I would say legitimately, like we were really good friends prior to this, but for sure the last couple of years, like it's like, oh, we're best friends.
Yeah.
Like we have difference of opinions in certain things for sure, but on a lot of things we view, I think, similarly. I would say.
Yeah, like it's not just like our interests align, but like our life views also.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Our morals and our ethics are aligned very well, and just the way we view life, art, food, and all that stuff. And it's just, yeah, man, it's been a real blessing, legitimately.
Same.
Looking at your eyes, and I kind of want to cry, but we're not gonna.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not until the alcohol is coursing through our veins. But yes, it's been a whole year. This has been really fun, and we're not stopping. I don't plan to. Like I was thinking about this too, because I told you like right before we started saying, like, man, I'm really tired. I was up all night working on something, and like of course, like when you're really tired about anything, right? Even I'm sure you've had this happen too after work. You're like, I just want to stay home, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like driving home, and I was like, man, I feel really tired. And then I was like, I could stay home, but that wouldn't be as fun as hanging out with Brian and drinking. We're gonna drink.
Oh yeah.
YouTube, we're sorry if you knock us down, whatever.
I'm not working tomorrow, so we're good.
I kind of am, so let's see what happens. It's late in the evening, I'll be fine. And I was like, nah, I want to do this. I'm like, you and I think, we haven't vocally said it, I think, but somewhere along the line, we're like, oh no, we're gonna. At first, it was like something for me to do, but then it became something like, oh, this is our thing. We gotta keep it going. Even if we fall off for a little bit, we're still like, all right, but next week, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. We got a lot of stuff in the works. I'm saving up to buy us some equipment to do some cool shit later.
Well, I mean, I'll pitch in like a buck or two.
We both are. Like, I'm saving up for certain things in the future. You're saving up for other things in the future too. But it's all for like the fun of the show.
Yeah.
And even if like, I think we have this mentality too. Like, even if no one watches it except like our friends or whatever, it's still fun for us. Yeah. Regardless, and I think that's ultimately what matters at the end, right?
Yeah. It's a project that we can do together, throw ideas together, and then if things for like outside of the podcast benefit from this, then great. That'd
be awesome, but it's not. I mean, like, yeah, we dream about it. It's like, well, what about the podcast? One day we can go. Like, of course, it's fun to dream, but at the end we're like, but as long as like we're having fun, that's really what matters. And until we stop having fun, I don't see us stopping anytime soon. Occasionally, like little pit stops.
Sure.
But not full on like, well, we're done.
Yeah.
So this has been fun, legitimately. All right.
Yes, and mostly thank you to the few who have been sticking by us and watching and keeping up.
For those of you who hit subscribe, the few of you that left comments, the very special few of you who hit that notification bell, thank you so much for sticking around with us. And all the guests we've had over this year. We've had a lot of cool guests. Janine, Abby, your friend Eames. Yeah. Just a lot of cool shit. We've had Jill. That's right. Good gosh, we've had a lot of cool people, man. And I don't see us stopping anytime soon. Now that I'm here too, like I want to really make this thing pop. So eventually, we will. I mean, it is popping. If I'm being honest, I am having a fucking blast doing this.
So am I. Yeah.
And it's like, and when we talked about it too, me moving back, we're like, oh, now we could do stuff live. So it's like that opened a whole other door for us to explore.
Yeah. So I mean, there are things you can do in person you can't do virtually.
Yeah.
Or you can, but it's different,
I want to tease some of the ideas we have. Are you cool?
Go for it, yeah.
So one of the big things, this is what I'm personally looking forward to the most, is us competing and trying to make cappuccino art.
Yeah.
We're eventually going to do that. And I'm very excited because I'm sure mine's going to be a disaster. This guy's a legit barista. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Barista?
Barista, exactly like that.
A barista. Yeah. Where's barista come from, by the way?
I have no idea.
Is it Italian?
Probably, right?
Or is it Spanish?
La barista.
La barista.
It could be Italian or French.
It could be Portuguese, honestly. Like that whole, like English, not English, like Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese use a lot of similar.
All those romantic languages.
Yeah. Yeah, but it does. They say romantic when I try to talk to a girl. Sometimes I go back to where you come from. So I don't know.
Well, you're not in Texas anymore.
That's true. So. I should try it again.
Definitely try it again.
Hola, mami. Mamacita, do the Eddie Guerrero fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
Hey, mamacita, orale. Speaking of Guerreros, you like that song?
I like that, yes.
Dude.
I guess we're starting with that one.
I guess we're starting with that one because I just fucking.
Well, here's the thing. All right, so.
Yes.
What's the saying you were saying earlier?
Oh shit! I was saying beer before liquor, never been sicker. And then you said
liquor before beer, you're in the clear.
So what you're saying is we're getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh wait, where's the camera? I was looking at the green light on the left. We're getting fucked up.
Well, let's go ahead and explain what we're doing today.
Yes. So today, because it is our anniversary,
50 episode
50 episodes, one whole year, give or take a few weeks. We're gonna just drink alcohol, but not just any alcohol. Alcohol made or sponsored, made by some of our favorite wrestlers. That's right.
Wrestling liquor.
Wrestling, which is very appropriate because the last few weeks of wrestling has been very poppin'. I don't know if you've been keeping up.
I have not been.
The last few weeks of wrestling, man, it's been kind of crazy, dude.
Okay.
I'll catch you up.
All right.
So this is kind of apropos too. So, of course, you want to show them in terms of the beer.
Well, let's start with the one that I think is kind of well known ish
amongst wrestling fans. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
They got today a Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing Company. Broken Skull.
Made by none other than Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. So
it's actually a very good IPA.
It's a wonderful IPA.
It's actually a fucking amazing IPA.
It's, I believe, yes, like Steve Austin had a hand in tasting and making sure, this is the flavors that he wants out of the beer.
In terms when it comes to IPAs. And ever since he made it too, anytime he's had a wrestling event.
Yeah.
Before it used to be like what, Coors or Millers or something?
I'm pretty sure it's Budweiser.
Was it Bud?
I think so.
Now it's almost always exclusively Broken Skull. Any live event. Yes. And it's legit delicious.
And then we are also doing this is from Alasta Brewing Company out in Covina.
And I'm very excited about this one. I haven't tried it yet.
I haven't tried it either. I found out about it a little bit too late last year. Because this is a Cinco de Mayo special. Okay. So Alasta Brewing Company only does this for Cinco de Mayo. And it is a Los Guerreros Mexican Ale.
From the very famous...
Or Mexican-style lager.
Los Guerreros family specifically. It's Chavo, right?
It's Chavo. Chavo's the one who has been... Well, he's worked with Alasta.
Yeah.
And so he also had a big hand in sort of like tasting, making sure the flavors were... exactly what he and probably Eddie would have wanted.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, but fun doesn't stop there. In terms of hard liquor, we had to get
Terramana.
The Rock's Tequila. And that's how you say it.
Tequila.
Bring out the Tequila.
The reposado, small batch tequila. Distilled and handmade. Copper pot stills. I don't know. Hecho en Mexico.
Yeah, it's legit. Tequila comes from Mexico, specifically Jalisco, for all you aficionados out there. And I've had Terramana before.
I have never.
And I actually legit very like it.
Yeah. And then our last special. Well, we'll save it for.
We'll save it for the end.
A little bit later.
A little bit of celebration.
Yeah.
A little bit of a celebration. Oh, that's a good tease. I think that's a good tease.
I know, it's a pretty good tease.
A little bit of the celebration at the end. Yeah.
All right. What do you want to start with today?
Should we like liquor before beer in the clear?
I feel like we probably should.
I feel like we should too, because you don't work tomorrow, but I kind of do, and I don't want to be all around the kids. Which, if you're watching this, if my boss is watching this, I'm not working tomorrow.
Mr. David B., you smell funny.
Mr. David, why do you feel like Listerine that's gone bad? Because Mr. David has adult problems. Doesn't make sense. No, it actually kind of doesn't make sense. Oh my god, it smells like ripe tequila. You ready for this?
No, are we doing like a shot, or are we just gonna
Hell
sip
yeah,
on
dude.
it?
What are we?
Well, I brought some.
You brought some chasers? I did too. Not a sponsor, but I brought a little chaser right here with me too.
Go.
Orange, huh? Look at
I
you.
didn't have limes. So we're doing.
I forgot to get the limes.
Yeah, so we're doing.
Not even
tangerines.
salt, dude. And you know what though? Smell it. Smell of that,
Oh yeah.
dude. That is tequila. That is tequila.
But that's like.
It's
quality.
sweet.
It's
Yeah.
good quality.
Yeah. It's legit. You're. All right. You want to do a little sip first?
This is not your Patron. Yeah.
A little sip first. Oh, that's good.
I might not even need this.
I don't think you do, honestly. That is stupid smooth. It's
Yeah.
warm. Like it warms it warms your esophagus going down. It's a little sweet. Oh my god. Legitimately, dude. We're not sponsored by anybody, by the way. I wish.
Right.
But legitimately, The Rock,
If
Mr.
you're out
Johnson,
there, if you're watching this,
this is legit one of the better tequilas out there. And for the price range too, that's probably the best tequila in that range, I would say.
yeah, easy.
Legitimately, like I would have this over Patron any day.
Oh, 100%.
Patron, I fucking hate Patron. But if you want to sponsor us, I might change my mind.
Make me change my mind.
Make me change my mind. It's like that fucking meme with that dude on the table.
Yeah.
Patron sucks. Makes me change my mind. I don't know who that guy's name is. I know he's problematic, but
All right, here we go.
cheers, everybody. To 1 year. That's dumb smooth, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh god, I got it. Wow. What do you think? I told you about this too, and you were like, "The Rock's tequila." I'm like, "Bro, just wait."
Wow.
It's good, right?
I've never been like a big fan of tequila.
Yeah.
This is good.
I don't know about you, but in my youths, I've had a love-hate relationship with tequila.
You know what? Tequila only had one purpose in my life as a youth.
That's to get
Fuck.
fucked up.
Yeah.
But man, that's a good tequila. I would imagine that's probably a little bit better chilled,
Yeah.
right? Not to say that it's bad at room temperature. It's still a very good tequila. But I imagine chilled would be like, oh my god, that's so good, dude. Fuck. Alrighty, I guess bust out the beers.
Yeah. Might come back to that one later.
You know what? I might too, and we might regret it later. But that is so good.
Right. Where do you want to go?
Wait,
next?
it's Los Guerreros. I
already said it.
already said it. I like teased it first.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the best ASMR I've ever heard. Next to the ear licking ASMR. Alrighty. Look at that. That's a nice golden brown. What is this? Like a pale ale?
A Mexican lager.
It's like a It's a Mexican lager. So it's like it's trying to be like Modelo and Tecate and all those guys.
I believe so. Yeah.
It smells like a Mexican lager. Like it's got that "this is beer from Mexico" type of
It
smell.
smells like your family's backyard.
It actually, it smells like all the Christmas parties that've gone bad. No offense, mi familia. If you're watching this, why? Second of all, I mean, I'm not wrong.
It smells a little sweet though. I like it so far. All right.
What are we binging
Cheers.
with Bad Bitch?
Yeah. Cheers.
That's a Mexican lager. That is a Mexican lager for
It's
sure.
light, but crisp.
But it has like this weird. Not that it's overwhelming, but the smell of it is like. This is gonna sound bad, or maybe it won't. But this is the smell where like I smell it and immediately I'm hit of memories of like watching my uncles just like fuck shit up during the holidays, legitimately, and just watching like my grandma and my mom being upset and me laughing in the corner and not quite understanding what's happening. You know what I mean?
I bet Chavo has the same feeling.
This reminds me of the time my dad beat me up because he was too drunk.
Threw me in the ring and said, "Deal with it."
He's like, "You're gonna take some bumps today, mijo." It is very smooth though.
It's got this little bit of a lingering like aftertaste.
Yeah, that's definitely the Mexican lager. You know what I mean? Like this really reminds me of like when I have like a Modelo or specifically Tecate. Like when you have a tecate, it has this lingering taste to it.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but even though I'm Mexican, I don't particularly enjoy too many. I don't really. There's not really a Mexican lager I really love, if I'm being honest. Like I'll drink it. That's all there is at the party or the barbecue.
It's never my go-to.
It's never my go-to either. But if I'm like with like my relatives, and they're like, "Oh, what beers do we have?" And they're like, "Modelo, Tecate, whatever." I'll have probably Modelo. Almost or Corona.
Negra. Modelo Negra.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. But usually, surprisingly, at the parties, they never have that one. It's always Modelo Especial.
Yeah.
Or Corona. Occasionally Tecate. Oh, but Tecate is disgusting in my opinion.
I can't do Tecate.
Yeah, it's gross.
I'd
I'm
rather
sorry.
do Dos Equis.
I'd rather do Dos Equis too.
The green bottle specifically.
But Modelo Negra is pretty good. Another one that's very similar to that is Inca. It's hard to find here, but it's in Mexico. It's another common like darker Mexican lager.
Is it like Estrella? I've had Estrella.
I haven't had that one. Inca, I would put Inca as like very close to like Modelo Negra.
Okay.
Kind of like that, like I guess it's a Mexican lager technically, but it's like a darker Mexican lager. I don't know what it would be called. Just dark. Almost like a red ale.
Like a moreno or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Like a moreno. No one's going to know that, but you and me, that's for us. Which surprisingly is, not to out you, I'm genuinely asking this. Is that like a terrible slang?
In Peru? Not really.
Yeah. This is interesting because this is legit. Certain words in certain parts of Latino America are bad, whereas in other parts they don't mean the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but if my mom uses it, then I don't think it could be that bad. You know what I mean?
You know what that reminds me of? Clerks 2, where Randall's like, my grandma wasn't racist. She's a sweet old lady. Yeah. And then he's like talking about it. Come to think of it, my grandma was a little racist. I'm not going to repeat the words he's saying because I'm like Kevin Smith.
Right.
But
yeah, I think in Peru,
it doesn't have the same like negative connotation.
Not quite the same.
Yeah. Because like, this is where it's gonna get weird. And again, we mean no offense. It's just how it is in Spanish dialect in Mexico. Like when someone's just dark skinned, they call him negrito.
Right.
And that roughly translates to blackie.
Yeah.
Literally, it's negro is black, negrito, the little ito at the end of it is kind of like
little.
Yeah, it's just like
a little pet name.
Yeah.
Sort of.
It's like they would call me David, David, or Davidcito, right?
Yeah, Briancito.
Yeah, it's just like a little nickname. Like it's like supposed to kind of like be kind of cute, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
So literally, it translates. It's not literally like little black. It literally translates kind of like little blackie, and negrecito, and negrito. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like
the Donald Glover stand-up comedy, his joke, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I was talking to the sign language like translator, right, before the show. He's like, oh, are there any words that maybe would be hard to translate to sign language?" He goes, well, what's the word he used?
Oh my god, I know the bit you're talking about. I can't pull it off. I think I saw it once in passing on YouTube.
Yeah, but he like basically used like the N word, but like in the cutesy little way, right? She's like, oh yeah, it's just like it's like they had a word for it.
There's a word for everything. Yeah. It's just the little world we live in. But it's funny because like obviously here, right, in English, negro, you wouldn't say it like that, obviously, right?
No, you would.
And then that kind of now has a negative connotation here too. It's spelled literally the same way. I just don't want to say it in English to get in trouble.
Yeah.
But literally in Spanish, negro just means black.
Yeah,
that's literally it. Like, oh, and
which, if you think about it, it's kind of odd because it's the kind of people that use that word are using the Spanish word.
Yeah, but they're not saying it in Spanish.
I know, but
they're putting a hard accent on that E.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're they're using non-American words to
That's
describe
kind
that.
of true. Yeah, that's kind of true. I wonder where the use of that word in English originated from.
I don't know.
I mean, it originates from racism. I know that, but I mean, like, who's like the asshole who like?
Christopher Columbus.
You probably he was like the Spanish used this word. It literally describes a color, but I'm gonna use it to degrade a
A
whole.
whole race of people.
Yeah. Fuck you, son of a bitch. That's why we don't celebrate that day anymore. I don't mind it. I'll probably get shit for that, but I don't care. All right, let's just finish it.
You want to finish the whole thing?
Yeah, it's half a beer for you and me. How can we not finish it?
Okay. All right.
Because I already know I already love Broken Skull, so I'm not gonna lie, that tequila hit, and I'm very happy.
I am feeling very warm inside.
Yeah, I'm feeling very good. Are you guys feeling good? Are you guys enjoying this? This is literally just for us. I'm sorry, everybody. I hope you're enjoying it, but if you're not,
if you haven't already, grab yourself a beer.
yeah. I mean, why are
Or
you
a
drinking there
drink.
just staring at us? Why aren't you drinking with us?
Exactly.
You know what? To you.
Cheers.
To you, listener. Cheers. Here we go. Again, it's not bad. I don't know if I'd want it again, if I'm being honest.
Well, we got a whole 4-pack, so.
Well, in that case, I do want one again. Give the thumbs up with me.
I will say, Chavo Guerrero had, I don't know if he still does, but he had a podcast he was doing for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. I forget what it was called.
Really?
Yeah, but he had a podcast. I found it once, and he was having a conversation with Rey Mysterio.
Oh, wow.
And you know, they go way back. So for me, like,
Decades.
yeah, for me, those my favorite podcasts to listen to in terms of wrestling were always about the veterans who are like catching up after a very, very long time, just telling old stories, right? Stuff that like I can picture in my head. Oh, like I remember seeing that like
That
on TV.
match. Or,
Right.
Yeah.
And so hearing Chavo and Ray like kind of just shoot the shit, get together, that was a lot of fun. But in the beginning of that is when Chavo said, "Hey, like I got you something," and like handed him basically like
The beers.
the beers, right? A whole pack of like this. I was like, "Oh, like I want that. I want to try that. Why not? Like it's Broken Skull IPA is good.
Yeah.
I want to try this one."
Yeah.
And then he started talking about it, and I found out it's in Covina. I'm like, that's not that far from here. Like I can
Yeah.
literally go there and
Doesn't
get
he?
it.
Doesn't he? All right. I know they originate from El Paso, the whole Guerrero family.
Yeah, but they're all here in California.
They're all here in California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I think Ray's still like in San Diego.
Yeah. Well, 619 Booyaka Booyaka.
Yeah, and then Chavo was saying he's like an hour and a half away. So I'm guessing somewhere around these parts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually
Right.
does live in Orange County.
yeah, because he was doing the LA wrestling thing.
PWG.
Nah, it was on TV for a little bit. It was like
Oh shit.
that
Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
That was based here in LA. He was doing that for a while.
Yeah. What happened to that show? It just went under, right?
I think so.
They had like what 4 seasons, and then it was just Dunzo after that, right?
I think up to 5 or 6. But like the last 2 seasons were like just strictly like online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, man. They
Mhm.
really leaned hard into the whole like storyline entertainment aspect of it,
Yeah.
which I think, and this is my personal opinion, there's already people out there who really loved it. I think that might have been like too much, because we already know wrestling's predetermined. It's not fake. It's predetermined, but to make it so like overproduced like that,
It really does take away from
the sport.
the magic of the performance.
Yeah, the sports feel of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let's talk about wrestling. Fuck it, we're here. It's hard to say it's a sport because it's not real competition. Like there's competition backstage, but in terms of like
that's like politics though.
yeah,
More
it's
than
not
anything.
like legit like athletic composition. You know, competition.
But it's athletic performance.
But it's athletic performance. In the same way, like ballet,
yeah.
it's an athletic performance, but I don't think we would say ballet is a sport. It's an art form.
It's an art form.
Yeah. So in that terms, I always viewed wrestling as an art form. And I feel like Lucha Underground and the whole spectacle of wrestling, it's like it's pretending, which I know it's a bad whatever, but it's pretending to be a sport where wins and losses allegedly count when they actually kind of don't because they're predetermined.
Right.
But the guys are athletes, like legitimate
like
athletes, like the shit they do and the bumps they take, like
they're putting their bodies on the line for
literally every night they get in that square circle. Yeah, legit. So,
let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of like
wrestling, because we're drinking wrestling
performance
beers.
Forever, yeah. At what point in your life, like at what age, did you stop getting offended when someone said wrestling was fake?
Oh Jesus!
Last week.
Literally today.
just right now.
It was at some point when I was living in Texas where I just stopped being like, I'm just tired of, like, all right, whatever, you think it's fake, whatever. Yeah, somewhere in my mid-20s, I feel like, because for sure, like, even before I moved in high school, like, you and I would get pissed when people were like, it's fucking fake, why are you watching that shit? Like, bro, it's not fake,
it's still real.
It's real to us. It's only real when the ambulance comes out. Yeah, like somewhere around my mid to late 20s, I was just like, whatever. I was like, you think it's fake? I'm not gonna try to convince you. Anymore.
What's the point of like arguing?
And it wasn't just wrestling. It was a lot of things at that point, like explaining like metal to my mom, like explaining like, I don't know, like anime or like comic books or whatever. It just got to the point like I don't care about explaining it to you. If you think it's dumb, you think it's dumb. I don't give a shit. I like it. I'm gonna keep consuming it. End of story. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's why is that? Is it just we get tired, you think, or we get worn down, or is it really, which I like to think of it as this, you reach a point of maturity where you just kind of don't care what the outside world thinks. You just care what you think, and you're like, well, if I like it, I like it, and it makes me happy, so fuck it.
Maybe a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of like, you're accepting the things you like, and a little bit of who cares if no one else likes it. Because
I will say, like, when I was like in high school, for example, if anyone like judged or attacked something I liked, I always took it very, very personally.
Right.
Because it was like, you're attacking me because I like that thing.
This is who I am.
And this is who I am. Exactly. So when people are like, why are you listening to that shit, or like metal, what are you, some kind of fucking idiot? And it's just like, well, fuck you, man, this is fucking real art. or you know when people are like, oh, wrestling, you're so dumb, and it's like, you don't fucking get it, dude, you're stupid, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then I just remember, I don't know, man, it was legit like my mid-20s. I was just like, I like it, I don't care what you think, I like it. And like, that's it. Like, it sounds so like dumb and cliche, but like, you
wake up one day and you're like, I don't care.
I don't care anymore. I don't care to fight you over it. And like, I think internet kind of helped that too a little bit, even though sometimes that's another fucking can of worms. But I feel like just watching everyone just kind of shit on everything consistently, it just got to a point like, you know what, man, everyone's gonna hate everything, everyone's gonna love something. It's just the world we live in. I'm just gonna concentrate on the things I like and then just put my positive energy into that. Why am I gonna deal with assholes trying to get a rise out of me or whatever? Which again, I'm not perfect. Like, I've had a couple of instances where I did, unfortunately, to my own detriment, engage with the negativity. And every time I do, I'm like, I don't feel good after this. Like, I feel like I've accomplished nothing.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So, and I don't know, I don't just mean like when it comes to art and stuff, just in life with other shit too, like actual big stuff too. I'm just like, you're gonna believe what you're gonna believe. It doesn't matter. Like, I'll give you this example to kind of pivot off of wrestling, but we can come back to it. The whole AOC at the Met Gala thing. Have you been keeping up with this?
Yeah, vaguely.
So AOC,
I know what dress she wore.
Yeah, she was invited to the Met Gala, so she didn't pay for a ticket. She didn't like anything for it. She was invited by the museum in New York. It's a museum. It was a fundraiser. It was charity to preserve art. You dumb fucks. Anyways, she was invited to it. She wore that dress, tax her rich, right?
Yes.
And on the internet, it's just a bunch of people fighting from the left and the right. The right saying, what a fucking hypocrite. How could she be here? She's a fucking elitist hypocrite, blah, 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 blah. and the left, being like, well, fuck you, blah blah blah, how blah 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 blah. She was, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then somewhere along that line, I read this Russell Brand quote where he said, like, when I was poor, like, I fought against the rich and saying tax the rich, we need equality, and people said I was bitter. Now that I'm rich and I'm saying the same thing, people say I'm a hypocrite. I'm just starting to think that they don't want me to talk about it, and it's just like, yeah, like that's the world we live in.
Yeah,
that's literally the world we live in. People don't want you to talk about it. People choose, for the most part, not everybody, right? Most people tend to legitimately make an educated decision, but for the most part in the world we live in today, I feel like, just based off the internet, people choose a side and then they just vehemently believe in that side regardless.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
it's Pokemon versus Digimon, right? You pick one and you stick by it your whole life.
Even though, like, you can like both.
No, David.
You can like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. I don't know why you would do all three. That sounds confusing, but you can do it. It's perfectly fine. You can love Metallica and Megadeth. Holy shit, right?
You can be poor and still want to tax the rich, but also be rich and still want to tax the rich.
You definitely could. And there's plenty of people who do that, but it's so weird. And I mostly see this from the right. It's a couple of leftists too, but it's mostly from the right. Like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, all you do is do a little bit of research and see, like, the people who are advocating for tax the rich literally give so much to, like, charities and, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look up Dolly Parton. Like, Dolly Parton
saved the world with the vaccine.
And she's literally, like, one of the most richest, most famous, like, country singers. And a lot of that money, just look it up, she donates a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I don't need this much. Like, why? I will never use this money in my lifetime. But even then, people are still like, but you're rich, so therefore you're a hypocrite. And it's like,
but no, it's not.
How are you going to change an institution from the outside? That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Like, if you want to change politics, you go into politics, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be like, you fucking hypocrite, you became a politician. Like, yeah, because I want to
change
the policy. Like, am I dumb? Am I just not getting it? I'll probably get it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think those people watch our podcast. So we just talk about wrestling, art, and occasionally being like, you're dumb. We're the smart ones as we drink this Mexican lager.
Which I'm warming up to.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know. But anyways, wrestling. So let me catch you up since you haven't been catching up, right?
Are we talking about WWE or are we talking about
wrestling
in general?
In general.
I do know because I saw a post. It was a video.
Video post.
I did see an image of Big E.
Okay.
Holding the
that was literally last night. I'm
right.
talking about everything leading up to everything happening today.
Congratulations, Big E.
Congratulations. Well, legitimately deserved.
Yeah.
Great worker. Hilarious. Literally made a very unique gimmick and made it work for himself.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you think about how he started, he was just like the enforcer, right? Mm-hmm. This big dude. And now he's like the goofiest, silliest,
but most lovable.
Kind of a comedic wrestler who like can turn it on when he needs to. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's a very unique gimmick. And I've had this conversation with a lot of friends. I honestly think the best modern day tag team, and I'm talking modern like the last 8-10 years, is the New Day. Legitimately speaking,
I think they have the entire package.
Yeah.
They can perform, they can wrestle, they have the athletics, they can
talk, they can host,
perform on the mic, right? They've got the vocal skills, the physical skills, they've got a very unique look that like they stand out, and they've got a whole bunch of charisma. Like you can't teach charisma.
No. And it's just the goofy shit they come up with too, like Bootios and how it became a legitimate cereal, throwing pancakes in the crowd, the whole embracing of like unicorn, and like obviously because of Xavier Woods, the whole embracing of like gaming culture and anime culture, and how like they'll come out like in Super Saiyan uniforms or like Power Ranger throw up, you know what I mean? Just everything about them I think is like just great. And I would say for my money, I know some people be like, well, what about the Usos? What about the Young Bucks? For me personally, I think the best modern tag team of the last 10 years has been the New Day. And I stand by it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. for sure.
Yeah.
Not to say that the other tag teams aren't as good. They're really good. But the New Day is just like a notch above all of them.
That's because they have the whole package.
Yeah. Because they can do everything. And then add on top of that, nothing feels like a repeat of like stuff before them. You know what I mean? Even the whole Freebird thing with them felt so unique to them and how they did it.
Right, because they put their personality onto it.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, anyways, the last month or so, WWE has been laying a lot of people off. Right. There's been like a lot of controversy, like WWE releasing, like obviously the big one to me was like the Iconics, releasing Aleister Black, releasing just a bunch of people, and then the big like underlying thing that's happened in the last 2 to 3 weeks has been two things. Number one, Daniel Bryan's contract coming up, and he hadn't signed with WWE.
Ooh, okay.
And number two, the big rumbling was CM Punk making an in-ring return to wrestling. And then a bunch of other stuff with like NXT and like now Vince taking over NXT, which used to be like Hunter and like Shawn Michaels like baby. And then Vince McMahon taking over that and like I guess in like his reaction to what's been happening in AEW. But anyways, the point is AEW the last 2 weeks has probably been the best weeks of wrestling since like the Monday Night Wars. CM Punk, the rumors are true. CM Punk came back. He is signed with AEW. He had his first match at their pay-per-view called All Out, which is arguably their WrestleMania. It was a great night of wrestling too. Like every match was amazing, legitimately. And then
I want to interject real quick
go for
because you mentioned All Out. My parents went on a recent East Coast trip.
Ooh.
My mom's retired, right? My dad is close to retirement. And so whenever my mom is like, oh, I want to go on a little trip, my dad's okay, let's go do it. Because they're at that age where like they
just can.
Yeah, they just
the
can.
Babies are out of the nest. They got a shitload of money. Fuck it, let's spend it on ourselves now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I'm legitimately like, yeah,
go for it.
Enjoy your life.
Yeah.
But they were in New York City, Times Square. Just my mom's going through her phone, showing me pictures, and like one of the first things that pop out to me is a giant billboard in Times Square, AEW, like All Out. I was like, oh look, it's AEW. My mom was like, what is that, a car? What is that? Like, what are you looking at?
Is that a European car? I don't get it.
Yeah. I was like, no, that billboard right behind you over there. She's like, oh, I don't. Okay, like let me show you the rest of the.
All right, good for you, son. Anyways, but
I mean, the fact that AEW giant billboard Times Square.
That's a huge deal.
That's a huge deal.
They have a lot of momentum going for them.
Yeah.
And it's honestly because of their pay-per-view All Out. Like, obviously CM Punk came back 2 weeks prior to the pay-per-view, and then they announced his in-ring return at the pay-per-view. And he had a good match against Darby Allin. It's like he could still go, which was really fun to see. They had a bunch of surprises. I think the tag team match was amazing in that pay-per-view. The women's title match was really, really good. We had a surprise entry from Ruby Soho, formerly known as Ruby Riott, who was released from WWE. She's in AEW now. But the best, I think arguably the best part of the night was the end. So after the AEW World Heavyweight match, it was Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage.
Okay.
Christian loses, and then the Elite comes out, and then it's like this big debacle in the middle of the ring. And then we hear some music, and Adam Cole comes out, who used to be in NXT. He was recently, his contract came up in NXT. He decided not to resign, and he had a no compete clause. Usually that's what WWE have, but he didn't have one. So his contract came up, and he appeared in AEW. And it was great because everyone's been thinking, oh shit, Daniel Bryan, formerly known as Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon's coming to AEW. So the lights go out. You hear music, and it's Adam Cole, and it's still pretty exciting for like wrestling fans who know it.
But it's not.
But it's
quite.
like it's a good swerve, you know what I mean? It's like they got us. And then they're signing off at the night, and then we hear another piece of music. And it's the Flight of the Valkyries.
Oh.
And then there's this huge, pretty dope trap beat drops, and out comes Bryan Danielson. And he attacks Kenny. No, he doesn't attack Kenny Omega. He attacks people of the Elite. And it's official that Bryan Danielson and CM Punk are in AEW. They're all Elite.
Wow.
and they've just been riding that wave ever since then. And I think like these last 2 weeks, like with Big E, not to say he didn't deserve it, he clearly does, but that's clearly like
a reaction.
Yeah, to what AEW's been doing. Because if you think about it, think about Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, the wrestler, and how he's very much the antithesis of what WWE thinks is a prototypical main eventer, and how hard WWE pushed Daniel Bryan. Like, he was the main event of WrestleMania 30. He opened and ended that show.
Yeah.
And then when he retired and then came back, like, they really pushed him again.
It's a huge deal, yeah.
But for him to be in AEW after all that, dude.
What does that say about Bryan Danielson?
Well, the good news is in interviews, he hasn't been talking shit about WWE. He just said his contract came up and he's like, I'm a wrestler. I want to wrestle. And I feel like right now AEW has the best wrestlers.
Yeah.
And he had a very great promo, which is very true. Because in WWE, he was like, I said professional wrestling when I wasn't supposed to say professional wrestling, which is obviously a jab at WWE and how you can't say pro wrestling in WWE, which is fucking odd. And he was like,
they're not called wrestlers; they're called superstars.
They're called superstars. And he was like, I took wrestling wherever I went. I am a professional wrestler, and I am here to wrestle. And it was like, fuck. So it's very exciting. If you haven't been, that's another thing too. Like, they don't know if they can use it.
They can't. I don't think. They probably can't. WWE is so good at copywriting everything.
You're probably maybe right, but we'll see. But I mean, he's a creative guy. He'll come up with something new. But yeah, if you haven't been keeping up with AEW, that used to be his thing too, right? He didn't do that. He did this.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
There you go.
No. But yeah, definitely AEW has been fun. They're still very much clearly like a baby. Like they're taking their first steps because there's still a couple of production walls they have during live events.
Sure.
But I think the main things I watched it with a group of friends after All Elite were like wrestling hasn't felt this exciting and this fun since the Monday Night Wars. Like it's
you don't think TNA ever got to that point?
No, they never did. Dude.
No. I had a lot of fun with TNA.
I mean, it was exciting to watch for sure, but it's not the same thing as compared to what AEW is doing right now. Where it's that I wouldn't say they feel like direct competition because they're not trying to directly compete with them, but they feel like the first legitimate alternative to WWE. You know, like wrestling marks like you and me, we knew about TNA. We know about like the small indies, like Lucha Underground. But think about those arenas and the crowds in them, right? They were never that big.
No, okay.
But when you watch AEW, like AEW, they sell out arenas right now. Like they have momentum and they feel like the first legitimate alternative to WWE. What was
TNA's WrestleMania? Do you remember what it's called?
Was it called Slammiversary?
I think so.
Or the X Division? No, it wasn't the X Division.
No.
There you go, dude. I can't remember.
So here's the thing, though. I went to this show.
Oh, you went. You can't even remember.
No, but it was like at the auditorium at UC Irvine, right? So like it's not a big venue. It's not. And that's like their big pay-per-view. And I had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It was legitimately like one of the best shows I've ever been to. Right.
But I think it was clearly like a wrestling fan's show.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AEW sold out the United Airlines Arena in Chicago.
Wow.
Think about how big that stadium is.
Yeah. Bigger than a university, that's for sure.
Yep. That's legit. Like, like people are like, AEW is having a good couple of weeks. Like, no, AEW has been building to this moment, and now they're like capitalizing on this. And I really feel like, I mean, if Tony Khan is as good as he's been, they are gonna be here for a while. They're gonna be a thorn in WWE's side without trying to be. Because what I like about AEW, and at the very least of what Tony Khan says, the owner of AEW, is he's not trying to be WWE. He's not trying to compete with WWE. He's just trying to be a wrestler.
I think that's where TNA went wrong too. Is
they try to compete with WWE.
Directly try to compete. Yeah.
We have a special guest. Hello. Hey, you're in the podcast, whether you like it or not. Yes, she is. You're leaving this all in for Executive decision.
No editing.
No editing whatsoever. And we're back. I forgot what was the last thing we said.
Welcome back from commercial break.
Yeah. I'm sure we had an ad put in there.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
If one of these breweries or something, I don't know.
If not, it's probably for me. If not, it was probably just a hard cut. And then Brian's going to put like a title that says, yeah, we have no sponsors, but please sponsor us.
Your ad goes here.
Yeah, your ad goes here. Hey, want to be featured on Speak Freely? The most prominent indie YouTube podcast in the world. Why not? It is indie. All right. But anyways, yeah, wrestling. Go watch. Wrestling's fun. Especially right now. It feels legitimately very, very fun and exciting. So now, speaking of fun and exciting, we're about to drink probably my favorite wrestling drink. Wrestler-inspired drink.
A wrestling drink?
Wrestling drink. And Broken Skull IPA. First of all, cheers. To you, sir. So light and fruity, citrusy, a little hoppy, but not like extremely hoppy.
Yeah, it's not like your typical IPA where like the hops just hit you in the face.
That's so good.
Yeah. Speaking of hops, I went to the Huntington Library.
Good segue.
Yes.
Speaking of hops, I went to the library.
Yes. No, it's called the Huntington Library, and it used to be a plantation.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So it used to be a plantation, and then at some point they're like, "Hey, this is wrong. We gotta change what we do here.
Make it into a library.
It's a
donate it to the public."
Yeah. It's a
yeah. That sounds actually kind of cool.
But it's huge, right? So there's obviously a library. There's some buildings for arts, like a museum, and a whole bunch of gardens. I think there's like 6 or 7 gardens.
Nice.
Like went through the Chinese garden, the Japanese garden, the rose garden. My favorite was the herb garden.
Ooh.
You can probably guess why it's my favorite, but
I have no idea. Has it something to do with the fact that you're a cook?
No, I like a little bit of the herb.
It was a pun for marijuana.
Yeah, not at all. It's because I was. But in the herb garden, so obviously they have rosemary, sage, all that good stuff. But there was a hop tree.
Oh, sweet!
I got to see what real hops look like. Yeah.
How do they look like? I would imagine. You know what they look like to me? Like the bud ends of like asparaguses.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Kind of like an artichoke.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Like an artichoke.
But
yeah.
But they're like this tiny.
And they make beer out of that.
That's crazy. I would think they would be a little bit bigger. Not quite artichoke, but like, a good size, somewhere in between. But no, they're like that tiny. So I don't know if they're like still growing, but on this tree, which was, I would say like a good 2 feet taller than you are.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah.
I'm like almost 6 foot.
Yeah. So
like
it's
borderline 6 foot.
So
I wonder how it would taste just to take one and chew on it.
And just pop it in.
Yeah. Because obviously, not obviously. I don't know how beer is made. I would assume they get a bunch of it. They put it in water. They ferment it a bit. Right. But I wonder how it just tastes like just pure
hops.
Straight from
Non-fermented hops.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Watch it taste kind of gross. Because when you look at like tequila, right? And it's like this plant that grows in the ground, and they have to dig it up and chop off the leaves, and they chop that into bits, and then they have to like burn it, cook it, ferment. It's crazy how tequila is made too. Not just the fact that it's like some guy hundreds of years ago figured out how to do this. Like, what drives human beings to be like, I bet if I burn that, put it in some water, and just let it sit for years, it'll give me a great buzz one day.
Well, I mean, alcohol is one of the most universal things across all cultures, right? Where
across human history.
Yeah. For like since the beginning of time, basically, alcohol has been a thing.
Yeah. And there's like,
So
I'm pretty sure someone has studied the history of alcohol, but I would
mhm.
love to know. I'm sure there's no way to pinpoint when alcohol was first consumed in human history,
Right.
but I'm wondering what like the oldest record of alcohol is. Because the thing I can obviously there's always been wine, like the Greeks and the Romans.
Right.
Going back to the Vikings, they had mead. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I would imagine like
What is mead made out of? Honey, right?
honey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had mead, by the way?
I have not. I want to.
It's really good. It's
Ooh.
dangerously good.
Okay.
It's really sweet. It's dangerously smooth, and it's like 20% compared to like beer.
Oh wow.
So like when I went to a brewery in Burbank, I think it was literally called the brewery. You guys are awesome, and they had mead. It was called Viking's Blood, and it's like they give it to you in like this like cup, like this little swirly cup, and they give you like this much of it. But you drink that sucker, and it's like you just drink it. You're like, this is very sweet, almost like a honey juice,
Okay.
but it's mead.
All right.
We're gonna get a bottle. Total Wine sells it, so I think one day we'll probably have that. Not on the show. Maybe on the show.
maybe on the show.
Maybe on the show.
Yeah. The only time I've had an opportunity to drink mead was at a beer festival in San Diego.
Oh, dope. And you didn't?
Because they sold out.
Of course they did.
They sold
that makes
out.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. We were there. It was like Comic-Con weekend. So a bunch of people were there like in costume, which was really awesome. It was a Heroes and Villains beer fest.
Comic-Con weekend. This was in August.
This is years ago though.
Oh, okay.
This is yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It was mostly San Diego based breweries obviously. But yeah, it was
What's the big one in San Diego? Is it the one that makes
Stone. Stone's a big one.
Stone? What's the company that makes California Creamin'?
Oh,
Isn't that in between here and Esty, or is it in Esty?
like Escondido maybe? I don't know. It's
That beer's
I
good
forget.
too. I forget too. I've only had it like once, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is legit." I haven't been able to find it. It's not readily available in grocery stores. I just need to go to like Bevmo or something.
Yeah, or Total Wine.
Yeah, I just been lazy if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I don't want to make that big of a trip for alcohol. And sometimes I do though.
Depending on the mood, yeah.
Yeah, depending on the mood for sure. I was gonna say something. Oh, when's the LA County Fair? Are they having it this year?
I have no idea.
Usually it would usually be around this time, wouldn't it?
September-ish. Yeah.
I legit want to go. We should go. Make a vlog about it.
There we go. All right.
Legitimately. Here you go. A little preview of what may or may not come. And just have a bunch of disgusting fried foods.
Yes, fried butter on a stick.
Maybe not that disgusting.
Apparently, it tastes like Krispy Kreme donuts. I don't know.
Of fried butter?
Yeah.
I just don't want to eat a whole stick of butter.
It's literally a stick of butter on like,
I
and they just in whatever cornbread batter,
honestly,
and then you throw a powdered sugar on top just to.
that's just
Sweet.
I don't think I would like it, dude. Have you ever just had raw butter? Just like bleh? It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not good. Honestly.
No. You could do like maybe a little bit of it, but like a whole like chunk.
Yeah.
It's
Even then, like honey butter or something like that, or garlic butter, like it
apple
goes
butter.
it goes good with something, but on its own, it's just like it's too rich for my taste.
Yeah.
Said the biggest dude in the room.
No, but the legit the fattiness of it just like
It's too much.
It engulfs your whole mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then your whole mouth just feels slimy afterwards.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Mm-mm.
Fried butter? Fuck that. No, maybe we shouldn't go to the other. No, we're gonna go. I remember. I don't know if they still do this, but I remember you used to be able. This is back in the day when we were young, though, when we couldn't do this. But you'd pay like a certain amount of money, and then you just go around certain booths and just have all the beer you can have from certain booths. You remember that?
Oh.
There'd be like a bunch of different like beer spots, and then it's
Okay.
just like show us your blah blah. You show them that, and be like, all right, here's your.
Yeah.
And I remember just seeing dudes with like just
Walking around.
yeah, just like with 3 boots, carrying like 3 boots just full of alcohol in it. You know what I mean? Is there I'm sure somewhere around here we're gonna get an Oktoberfest.
Oh, I mean Orange County for sure.
If we don't do LA County Fair, we should do that. But honestly, we should do both.
Okay.
We should definitely do both and vlog it. So, which means we probably need to get a GoPro. No, we just do it on our cell phones. Fuck it.
But yeah, we got the newest technology.
Yeah, it'll look good. It might not sound great. It'll look great.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that's cool.
Anyways, Yeah, Broken Skull IPA. It's delicious. I don't know what else to say about it.
When's the first time you had Broken Skull IPA?
It was with you in Pasadena.
That was the first time?
Yeah. I remember it was like around the time when it came out.
Yeah.
It was like, what, 4-5 years ago?
More or less, yeah.
And you took me to go visit your spot where you work at the time. And I was like, hey, do you know where we can get some Broken Skull? I know they sell it here in California because it's somewhere.
No. We were looking for Japanese whiskey.
Originally, that's right. Yeah. You're right. Yes.
Yeah. So
I was looking for. We were looking for. I think at the time we were looking for Nika, some Hibiki, some Suntory.
Yeah.
And there's a liquor store near where you work.
Not a liquor store per se. Not in that sense of like when you say liquor store, right? It's classier than that. It's called Everson Royce Bar.
It's a liquor store.
But specifically,
it's a fancy liquor store.
But they specifically specialize in whiskey.
No, but they also had wines there too.
They had a bunch of wine.
They had more wines than whiskey, is what I remember it.
But I think originally the concept was like it's a place where you can go buy whiskey.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, we can go to this place, that they specialize in whiskey. Half of it was wine, sure, but we were there looking for whiskey. And then you came across the Broken Skull IPA.
And I was like, oh my God, they have it? Yeah. And I was like, we got to buy this, bro. It was room temp, so we didn't drink it right away.
Yeah.
It was just out there on the shelves. Mm-hmm. I remember that. But then we bought it, and where did we chill it? In your old place?
No, it was at Ryan's.
It was at Ryan's, right? Oh, yeah, we chilled for a minute afterwards. Like, you want to try it now? And we did, and we drank it. We were like, oh my God. Yeah. We were like, this is the most delicious IPA I've had up to that point. It's still pretty good. I feel like maybe I've had slightly better. But this is where it gets weird, right? Because IPAs, depends what you're looking for in an IPA, too. I
lately have been more accustomed to drinking hazy IPAs.
I was literally about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been really into hazy IPAs, too. Legitimately speaking. This is why we're best friends, dude. Yeah. You just said that, and I was like, fuck, I was legit about to say that. Like, we went to go watch Shang-Chi, and I hope I said that right. I wasn't trying to make fun of it. I was trying to do a legit pronunciation, but now that I said it out loud, it felt kind of racist. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
Let's put a pin on that for a little bit. Because I have a little story.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Earlier today.
Yeah.
I came home from work. I was relaxing in the bed. I was watching... on the MLB app, they have the free game of the day.
Yeah.
And so I was just watching, for background noise, whatever. I put on the Mariners versus the Red Sox. So it was on TV. It was on the background, a little bit background noise, and they showed like the wild card race. So Tracy's asking, "Well, who are we cheering for?"
In the wild card?
Yeah. Well, in this game specifically, right? Boston versus Seattle.
So who would I vote? Oh.
Yeah, so she was asking, like, who are we rooting for in the game? I was like, well, I guess Seattle, because I really don't like Boston.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, oh, God, outing myself as an Astros fan, like, Red Sox cheated that season, too.
Yeah.
To the World Series, and no one gave them shit for it because they're a legacy team.
Right.
I mean, it's been proven Boston literally cheated their way to the World Series and no one gave a shit.
Yeah. Anyway, so
I said it.
They showed the wild card standings, right? And so Seattle's only 2.5 games out of the wild cards. I'm like, oh, whoa.
Jesus.
I'm for sure rooting for Seattle now.
Yeah.
Because they have not been to the playoffs in a very long time.
Yeah.
Over
decades.
20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, I have a little like a Google Home thing. It's like, hey, Google, like, when's the last time Seattle Mariners went to the playoffs? And the way that Google answered this was so off-putting, right? Because it was
the fucking Mariners.
Yeah. But because it was like 2001. The Seattle Mariners have not been to the postseason since 2001. Yeah, it was like the Mariners are, what is it? The longest running streak of not going to the postseason
Postseason.
I was like, why are you saying postseason so weird?
I think maybe I would imagine because she's reading it as one word instead of just reading it as like postseason.
Postseason, but it was
Postseason.
so weird.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like one of our moms trying to say postseason. Because you know how in Spanish there's not really a hard T sound?
right.
It's a soft sound. So it's like postseason. No, postseason. Eso es lo que dije, postseason.
Postseason.
Postseason. Postseason.
I was like, why? It's like, why did Google just get so racist all of a sudden?
Postseason.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying it like that. People are gonna look at us all funny. Man, I can't wait to go watch the postseason.
The postseason.
The postseason. What the hell are you saying? I want to try this now. Hold on. Hey Siri. When's the last time the Seattle Mariners went to the postseason playoffs?
Okay. I found this on the web for Hey Siri. When's the last time the Seattle
She just
Mariners
gave me.
went to the postseason?
You're useless. I miss Google. She just gave me web searches like you read it.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you.
Here's some links you
You
can go
lazy
look at.
fuck. Go read. When's the last time you did that?
Yeah. Anyways, we're talking about Shang-Chi.
Alcohol. I
Okay.
love it.
Shang-Chi.
Well, it
I don't
was
know how to
it
say
was a bit in the movie too, where it's
Yeah.
like Shang-Chi or something like that.
So
I'm
it-
probably butchering it still.
Yeah,
Because
and
people
then-
say Shang-Chi, but they're like, that's not how you pronounce it in its natural dialect. It's like Shang-Chi.
Yeah. I really like that joke though.
Yeah.
Aquafina was like, you changed your name from Shang
To Sean.
No wonder your father fucking found you.
It's like changing your name from Gina to Gina.
Yeah.
The movie's good.
love that
It's still
movie.
in my head. I'm debating where it lands for me. It's
The-
upper tier Marvel, but I don't know how high tier I would put it.
The more I think about it, the higher it goes, to be honest.
I think I need to watch it again.
For sure.
I think legitimately I need to go to AMC again and watch it in Dolby. Like really immerse myself in the experience and then
Yeah,
really see
no,
it.
like in like that full
10.1 surround
Yeah.
sound. Like legitimately. I'm not to say that the theater we went to was a good theater, and it was a good audience too. Surprisingly, even though we were
Yeah.
kind of nervous about it, there was a good audience. But I don't know. It's just there's so many Marvel movies now too, where it's kind of hard to like not have recency bias with the new ones that come out, and really try to be like, where do I legitimately put this?
Yeah. And so you definitely have to sit with it.
Yeah,
But you have to also look at it as in like what comes from it.
that's
Right.
true too. You have to put it in the context of the MCU,
Yeah. Because
and that's gonna take time, obviously, because it just came out.
right.
But we still have. Good God, did you see the new Hawkeye trailer?
Yes.
I'm excited for that. It looks fun. I don't know if it'll be like a great show,
No, it's not. I don't.
but it looks fun.
It looks fun. I think it's gonna be better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I think it'll be because better's a relative term. I feel like no offense, but it's like a better term because for a lot of people that show means the world to them.
And I get that.
And I get that too.
Totally get it. But I think for me personally,
Yeah,
right? For me, just saying, for me,
probably will enjoy Hawkeye way more.
it feels like it's gonna be a
feels
little
like-
bit more of
yeah.
a good time.
I honestly, so you're not just out there drowning on your own. Legitimately, I feel the same way. Not that I didn't enjoy Falcon and Winter Soldier,
It has a lot of good themes.
but I think for me that show personally, it doesn't resonate with me the way so far other shows have.
Right. And I don't see Hawkeye as being as philosophically deep as Falcon and
No.
Winter Soldier, right?
No.
It just looks like a good time.
It could be though, because it's a lady, right? It's a young girl,
Yeah.
kind of taking up the mantle of Hawkeye,
Mm-hmm.
and we would assume Florence. Spoilers. We would assume Florence Pugh's character is going to be in
Could
it.
appear in it, sure.
So, it could have some philosophical themes in it, but I don't think they're gonna delve too deep in that the way like a show like WandaVision or like the way.
Loki, even.
But would you call Loki a super philosophical show? It's super science fictiony
I
in
guess
terms of
it-
its concept, but I don't feel like that show in particular is super philosophical. If I'm being honest,
I think it talks about self-identity. And to me, like, that's something that really resonates. As someone who is a part of different cultures but never fully immersed in any of them,
I feel that.
that self-identity, like, where do I belong?
Where do I stand in
where do I
terms of?
stand?
Yeah, I get that.
To me, personally, that resonated with me.
Yeah, you know what? When you put it that way, yeah, and I totally understand that too. Being like first generation, especially,
Right.
you always have that conflict of like adhering to your parents' culture, but also adhering to the culture you grew up in.
Yeah.
And that's something that like I've always struggled with my parents, because obviously my parents, yeah, they live here, but they didn't grow up here. They grew up. My mom grew up in Mexico, in rural Mexico, and my dad grew up in rural El Salvador. And obviously, they're the culture, third world, all that stuff. It's vastly different. Whereas, like, I grew up here. You know, I grew up relatively well.
Yeah.
Right.
In suburbs.
Yeah, I learned English. I was immersed in other cultures and different aspects and stuff like that. So obviously the way I think and believe in certain things isn't the way my parents would want me to believe in them. You know what I mean? So it's always been that weird, for lack of a better term, conflict. And but I feel like Loki, yeah, it's definitely a show about self-worth in that sense, but I also feel like it deals with more like destiny and the whole notion of like, is there fate?
That's another thing too, yeah. Like, what is predetermined? What do you have control over?
Yeah. But ultimately, the show makes a statement like nothing's predetermined. Everything's just constant variables. Which I feel like most humans believe in. Most, not all. Of course, some of them think.
Yeah, no. Most is a good word.
Some people think like it's all destiny.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is dumb. There's a whole philosophical debate, but I don't know if I want to get into it.
Not right now.
Not right now. I'm having a good time. I don't want to bring the mood down. I'm buzzing.
Yes. So, anyways, back to the hazy IPAs.
Oh yeah, I've been really into hazy IPAs. That's all I gotta say about that. And that's all I gotta say about that.
No, but you were talking about we went to go watch Shang-Chi.
Oh yeah, and we had Wolf Pup.
Yeah, the Wolf Pup.
Was that a hazy IPA? Or just an IPA? That Wolf Pup was really good at Golden Road.
No, I think Wolf Pup itself is
just an IPA.
An IPA. There is a hazy IPA version of it, but it's called something different.
I think you might be right. Yeah. Anyways, the point is, the next day I went to my local Stater Brothers and got a 12-pack of nothing but Wolf Pup IPAs.
Nice.
And I'm slowly going through it. So whenever you want to come over, have a Wolf Pup.
All right.
I have like 8 left. I don't drink every day. Because honestly, if you need to drink every day, you probably have problems that you need to address.
Or you're like 21 years old in college.
Which, again, probably have problems you need to address. Alrighty. Is it getting to that time? Are we done with the Broken Skull?
We are done with the Broken Skull.
Jesus, we chugged that way quicker than Chavo's beer. Yeah. No offense, Chavo. Sorry. Orale. I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
I think we should wind down the show. We've been at it for like a good hour and a half.
Yeah.
Not including the breaks, which you may or may not have seen, depending on our editor. I think it's about that time.
You're not going to see it.
You're not going to see it.
So our little special treat that we teased a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we are doing our favorite wrestlers, right? Alcohol. That's the theme.
Yeah.
Of the show, basically. My absolute favorite wrestler of my generation.
No, this is a bold claim. You're claiming this is your absolute favorite.
Yes.
Wow.
My absolute favorite, like, performer in terms of like athletics,
promo work,
gimmick, the creativity, the constant reinvention.
I will say that he's a constant creative. I will give him that. Yeah.
Yeah. Singer.
He is.
I mean, he does sing.
He is. He gets paid to sing. That's a professional singer.
Yeah.
professional is if you get paid to do what you do, you're a professional singer. Anyways, it's time to bust out a little bit of the bubbly. Just a little bit of the bubbly.
You want to see the? You want to look at the bottle there, right? Take a look at the. It's nothing fancy.
It's
looking at
it's such a basic. There's like a little bit of the bubbly. This Chris Jericho with the title, and then a sparkling wine for all demos or demos. He says, but it's a very basic, which gives me not great high hopes for how this is about to taste.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is from Knocking Point.
Yes.
Knocking Point.
You talk while I figure this out.
Yeah. Knocking Point is from Walla Walla, Washington. It is the winery founded. I don't know if it was founded by, but definitely.
He has some stock in it.
He's got a lot of stock in it.
Yeah.
Stephen Amell. My personal favorite performer as Green Arrow.
Oh boy. All right.
Here we go.
I've never done this before, so if I break something, I'm so sorry.
Anyways, so Stephen Amell has actually, he is, from what I know, like he is a fan of wrestling.
Oh God. All right, you can finish your thought before I try this.
He's a fan of wrestling. He's been involved in.
Yeah.
Was he involved with WWE?
Yeah.
Right.
He had an angle with Cody Rhodes.
With Cody Rhodes, and he's.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stardust.
Anyways, after, but from there, he's had a pretty good relationship with Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gone into AEW.
Oh yeah, and then he has a show right now on
Stars
called Heels.
Heels, yeah.
Which is literally about wrestling.
Which I want to watch. I don't
CM
have
Punk's on that.
I don't have access to Stars.
Neither do I. I think eventually once some kind of streaming service picks it up, it's probably when I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to subscribe to Stars.
No.
All right.
Unless you want to sponsor us.
All right. I have no idea how this is done.
You just got to pop it.
I did it.
I don't know where that went.
I don't know either. I didn't break anything though, so yay for me.
Here we go.
I hope we're still recording. Sir, a little bit of the bubbly. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, I didn't even know this is how you pour it. I apologize, this isn't.
That's good.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. I just like saying it more than anything. It's probably not gonna taste super great, but.
Also, these are not the right glasses, but that's okay.
If there's anything about Speak Freely, it's that we're not super accurate on everything. But we try.
We try.
Sir, to a wonderful year and to many more wonderful years. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm not a champagne guy.
It tastes like champagne.
Yeah, it smells like it too. It has a hardcore smell of champagne.
Yeah.
And I'm not about that life. But we're drinking it because I paid almost $30 for it. So drink.
It is. It's fine. Like it's okay. Like if we were.
That's a great. It's fine.
It's fine. If we were celebrating like New Year's or whatever.
Yeah.
This is fine.
But by then, you've had a lot of everything else you like.
That's so true.
So like, this won't even like you won't even really taste this.
So like tonight we've had a little bit of everything else that we like.
Yeah.
And now.
I mean, but I still taste it though. You know, to pull behind the curtain a little bit, Brian accidentally ordered another bottle of this. I got this bottle that we're currently drinking, and he accidentally ordered another one.
Yes.
If you want to sell that bottle to anybody, I would not be opposed to it. But if you want to keep it and save it for like a special occasion for with friends and family,
I might.
Because would you want to drink this again?
For the gimmick, yes.
But just for leisure?
No.
Compare to like a Broken Skull or even Guerrero or even that Terramana.
I would. No, it's like the other ones that we've had today are like they're good. I would actually drink them again. This one,
I don't think I drink it again. But I'm not a champagne guy.
I'm not either. But like this one,
You know what we need? Do
it's okay.
some orange juice, make some mimosas.
There
Maybe
you go.
that'll.
I mean, it would definitely make it better.
Yeah,
But I don't know, for the price,
it's not bad.
it's not bad.
But then, if I'm being honest, and I'm gonna be 100% honest, I've had champagne, but like sporadically over the years, so I can't really tell you if it's like a great champagne or not.
Right.
I just know I'm not into it. It's not for me.
No. I mean, I might use it tomorrow to make like a French 75 cocktail, but
And I'm jealous that I won't be here for that, but. Or have you made some mimosas too?
some mimosas.
I think this would probably be great with mimosas.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
I
no,
mean,
it's okay. It's
yeah.
definitely a gimmick. No offense, Chris Jericho.
Yeah, but like I know, I've had some cousins who I've grown up with who are also big wrestling fans, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they might love this gimmick.
It'll be like a nice little.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. For
And they'll be like, but oh.
but it's fun.
But oh.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the best way to describe it.
A little bit of bubbly.
Really, I just
But
bought
no.
it so I can try to open a champagne bottle, and that was really fun. Now we gotta go
Yeah.
find the cork. I have no idea where it went.
It's
I
somewhere.
heard it hit the couch.
Yeah, I think it went behind the couch.
I heard it go.
It hit the roof for sure.
Yeah, it definitely did. I think it might have been right there.
I can see that little dent right there.
Yeah, legit, dude. Which is hilarious.
I'm not getting the deposit back.
No, that's not true. There's a bunch of other dents there. You could just say they were there before.
Right, yeah.
Doesn't even matter. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fun ride. And we have a lot more cool stuff coming up. I keep looking at the screen. I should be looking at the camera. I'm still getting used to it. This is only like the second time we've done this.
Yeah.
But I'm here now. We got a lot of stuff in store. We are definitely going to either do Oktoberfest or LA County Fair. Most likely both.
Mm-hmm.
We may not record both.
But we're doing both.
But we're doing both.
And we'll let you know about it.
Yeah, we'll let you know about it for sure. But we'll try to record some imagery. We're for sure doing cappuccino art eventually.
Yes.
There was another thing we wanted to do too, right?
Cooking, for sure.
Cooking for sure. Oh yeah, we did a cooking episode once.
Did not turn out
It
great.
fucking reeked of terribleness. Not the food. The food was good, but
the food's delicious.
but man, were we
Not prepared.
yeah, in terms of like how we were gonna feel the camera and like how we were doing. It was very like. What's the best way to describe it? It was very
Amateur.
I'm telling you, it'll probably be amazing with orange juice. If you're into mimosas. There we go. We're back. We're super zoomed in, but we're back. Oh, there we go. It's still recording. I didn't stop. So this is going to be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, we have no idea where we finished. So Brian, just make an executive decision.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out in post, baby. But hey, in other news, I found it. Brian, where can the good people find you?
On Instagram and Twitter at Kudo_stars.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, at DavidBMusic21. If you haven't yet, go stream my music, David B Music, wherever you get your streaming music services. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Deezer, Napster. I know, I love saying it. I love saying that I'm on Napster because I legitimately am. And yeah, keep your eyes out. I'm doing a lot of cool stuff for the Schmodown. I got a couple of projects I'm working on, little short films here and there. I'll say this. I'm working on a small EP, a rock EP.
Finally.
Yeah. It's going to take me a while, but I'm hoping to get that out in the next couple of months. And then my band from Houston, The Fates Day, we're working on our EP too, so that should be exciting. Also, if you're in the LA area, speaking of my band from Houston, we'll be at a show in LA at the Mint, December 5th, Sunday. Go check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. Also, I'll be at the Schmodown Spectacular. Are they a sponsor? No, but I'm going to be there, and I like to see a lot of you there. So go check that out. December 4th. Make it a weekend. Why not?
The whole David B weekend.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be parts of the show, but you can definitely theme it around me. I don't mind.
I am.
Yeah, he legit is. So, this has been Speak Freely.
50 episodes in.
50 episodes in, 1 year in. Thank you so much. You stuck around, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time.
Same bad channel.
I don't think we could say that. It might be copyrighted. Ready?
Same speak time.
Same free time. Same speak channel. No. Same speak time. No, same speak. 1, 2, 3. All right. You're so. Can you add the yay? I hope the camera picked it up. Yay. No. You want to jump in?
It's our 50th episode.
I hope the mics pick that up and you leave it in. If you want to jump in, no. No. It wasn't even like a no thank you. It's straight like, fuck that.